Hi everyone, great to see you all. Here is a video about making digital worksheets and worksheets that can be completed online. So if you like this video, please like the video, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Just lets me know that I am giving you guys what you need. So, the first thing to say is lots of people asking about how you can edit a PDF. So a PDF in its nature is essentially uneditable. Okay, you can't edit a PDF. There are programs that you can download and extensions that you can add on that will allow you to add text boxes to allow you to fill in different elements of a PDF, but you won't ever be able to really edit it. So for children and for work, that can actually really throw out what you're trying to do. If you have a worksheet in a PDF that will work really well if you printed it off and handwritten it, that probably won't work when you're trying to do that as a digital version. Okay, for a start, like one thing that lots of people try and do is put lots of text boxes in to fill in the gaps, but then you've got layering issues of what layer everything's on. You've got kids moving stuff around, moving the PDF. The minute if they click and drag the PDF out of place, then all of the text boxes are out of place. So actually, a really, really simple solution, which will only take a few minutes once you've got used to doing it, is to convert that PDF into a Google Doc. Okay, so that's the first thing I'm going to show you. Your second option from there is to use the screen selection print tool, which allows you to print screen a selection of the screen, to print screen various bits of that PDF off and put them either into a Google Docs, or I would recommend if you're putting lots of images in, into a Google Slides. It just makes things more manageable. Google Docs doesn't like lots of images all over the place. So, first of all, how you convert a PDF. So I've got my example PDF here. So Google has a really good transfer rate and it will try and transfer that PDF as accurately as possible. What it doesn't like transferring over is tables. It really hates transferring anything in a table. So I've chosen this PDF on purpose to show you how it works and then ways around that. So I'm going to right click, open with, and Google Docs. So this will now take all of the text, any pictures in there, and it will try and convert that PDF as accurately as possible. Okay, so just to flick back on, here is the original PDF, and I'm sure you can already see where it hasn't transferred that table over very well. Okay, and then, there we go, so it's just loading up. There's another page down here that's got some more tables. So, where can we go from here? Well, we've got the text on there. So one thing we could do that would be a really quick, easy fix to this is to add in a table. So just quickly go into Insert, add in a table in, and then we can add a 1-by-1 table. And then all I'm going to do is copy and paste all of that in, just so it highlights it and makes it look a little bit different. And then delete that away. So there I've now got it looking pretty similar to the way I had it before. The other thing that I could do is if I didn't need a student to edit any of that text, is I could just ignore that stage completely. I could delete all of this out and I can use the tool that allows me to capture a selection of the screen. So if you're using a Chromebook, that will be Control, Shift, and then the Select Page button, which is above 6, which is the little rectangle with 2 lines next to it. If you're using a normal keyboard on a Chromebook, it will be Control, Shift, F5. If you're using a Windows machine, it will be the Windows key, Shift, and S. And if you are using a Mac, it will be Shift, Command, 4. So that will bring up this cursor, and this allows you to simply select a selection of the screen. That will then save that as an image, which I can copy out, and I can paste directly into my Google Docs. So I now have it there. I can delete off what I don't need, and I can keep that Google Doc really nice and simple. There we go. So now that I've got that, I come to the second part of the PDF, which asks me to tick a box. Now, as we can see, We no longer have those boxes. What I could do is I could spend a few minutes putting in a new table, so you could tick a box. The easiest way to do this, though, is just to rethink what you're actually asking, and we can say, put an X next to the correct answer. So then all they have to do is put an X next to it. If you want to embed some of those IT skills, you could say, highlight the correct answer. So then you're embedding some of those good IT skills and you're highlighting things a different color. Okay, so it's about thinking outside the box and not just relying on what is on that worksheet in the first place. Okay, because this will work a lot easier. The children will find this a lot simpler to do than if you had given them that PDF and asked them, well, there's a text box there and there's a text box there, but then if you've put a text box in already, then they're going to know what the correct answer is, and then they've got to try and line it up, and it just doesn't work as well as this. So you've transferred it, and I would fully recommend, like, if I wasn't talking that through, that would have taken me about a minute to completely redo that PDF. Then an important thing to remember is once you've done this once, you have it forever. In Google Classroom, there's a reuse post button, so you can reuse previous assignments. So now what about a PDF that is a bit trickier? So here I've got a lovely maths worksheet. Now, if I try and convert this, it's just not going to work. Too many pictures, too much formatting, it's going to be a nightmare. Again, I'm going to come back to my screen selection tool. So I'm going to use that again. And I am just going to, whoop, done the wrong bit. I'm just going to, there we go, highlight the first 5. I'm then going to bring up Google Slides, and I would recommend doing this in a Google Slides. Google Docs is great, but it does not like multiple images. It doesn't like you moving and manipulating images around as much. So here I have my pictures, my representations of fractions, and all I'm going to do in this case is put another text box in and say answers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and just give them a box to put their answers in. You could do this as well, use the same method, and you could put this into a Google form. You could add the image in and then have multiple choice questions about which answer you're going to select. It would make it really, really simple, and then that would self-mark as well. Okay, so there are plenty of options that you can go around to make your life easier and to convert these PDFs really simply. As you can see, I could convert that whole sheet in a matter of seconds. It is worth saying that down here, you're not going to be able to shade those fractions in. There are just some things that are harder to do on the computer. If you did want children to do this, then you could always say, you could put in, and this is one that I did with my class a little while ago, you can add in a table of 10 by 1, and then you could ask them to shade in the certain amount of tenths that they need. So I could shade in 3/10 red, and then you have that. There are other ways that you can use this. So once you've got this in, if you wanted to do a sorting activity, if I double click on that image, it will bring up my cropping tool. So I can crop that down, and I'm going to take a version of this and put it onto a fresh page and put it in here. Now from here, I'm going to make sure that I keep my original, and I can crop this down. So I've got 1, I have 2, I have 3. So on and so forth, you get the idea. But then we could have put these in the correct order of highest to largest. So if we wanted to do that, I could just jumble these up, pop in a text box, and order the fractions. Then you've got a really nice interactive worksheet where you can just take these and move them around into any order you want. Things like this are great for if you want to do a sorting activity on a number line. If you wanted to do money, it just means you need to find images of money, copy them out, put them in, and you can do some really good sorting activities. You can do building up activities, placing things on a grid, on a number line. You can do the same thing here if you really, really desperately wanted to do that missing answer worksheet, and you could put that in the background, have your words down the bottom, and then you can just move the words into the correct place. So it's really about thinking outside of the box on how you're creating these activities. Okay, the really key thing here is that what would work on paper doesn't necessarily transfer and work on an online format. Okay, so it's just breaking that way of thinking a little bit. Here's how you can make some really simple, effective worksheets, and I would highlight the real key thing here is keeping it simple. You know, you could put loads and loads of editing on these pages, loads of pictures, stuff everywhere. It's just going to complicate the issue. There's more things to move around. Unfortunately, at the moment, Google doesn't have a way where you can lock things in place on a page. Okay, hopefully they'll bring out one of those options soon, because I know there's lots of people in education asking for it, and it would be a really useful tool. But just thinking outside of the box, keeping it simple, keeping it effective, and working with stuff your students already know how to do. You're trying to teach them a concept in English. There's no point in trying to teach them how to use an area of technology at the same time. It's just going to confuse your learning intentions, okay? So I hope you found this video useful. I will look at doing one for how you can use things like Google Forms and to create more complicated worksheets. But please don't try and run before you can walk. Do simple things that are really effective, okay? I hope that was useful for you. If you do want any other videos, please just let me know. Remember, like the video, share the video, subscribe to the page. I'll be putting more of this stuff out. I've got tons of training videos for parents, students, and teachers on my YouTube channel, so please check it out. Feel free to use them as much as you want. Okay, they're there for people to use. Okay, in these awkward times, stay safe, try and stay stress-free as possible, and remember, these are tools. They're there to help you. Don't try not to get stressed out by them, okay? Right, have a great time, and I will speak to you all soon.